might say it's cold. Others, like myself and my partner, we say this is football weather as we welcome you to chilly M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Baltimore Ravens. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
Pac-Man, 180! I'm here all day.
Now a handoff looking right. He finds an opening past the 40. And finally brought down at the 38. A big play on the ground there. It goes for 36 yards. Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass, I would think, than you get your normal ballet. But at the same time, that was well executed.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Wentz. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. Remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Throwing now is Wentz. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 26. And he'll bring it all the way back just a yard or two shy of midfield. No doubt a very disappointing end to what was a pretty strong opening drive.
They had 3 points in their back pocket. It was there for them. If you don't like what you see, just throw it away. Make sure you get those points on the board. Don't get too greedy. He forced it there. You saw the end result.
A running play here on 1st down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13. From the gun, Jackson. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Fletcher Cox in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
2 plays so far, a run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards.
Probably not how they drew that up.
Not at all.
Looking for a better play coming up on 3rd.
Get that quarterback, D-line. D-line, get that quarterback. 54.
There's Jackson on 3rd and long. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Fletcher Cox racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. That's a 49-yard punt, 8, though, on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 46-yard line.
Here we go. 180!
On 2nd and 11 now. Wentz. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked off at the 40. And he's got some space here. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Okay, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
They'll run on first down. Dickerson. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now a give, right side. Dickerson. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Now keep in mind, if you're thinking of staying on the ground, this is a top 5 rush defense.
Yeah, but I don't think you shy away totally with the run. At least show them the hint of a run before you decide to throw the football.
In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. Jackson from the shotgun, forced out to his left. He may try and run for this. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or 2 short. Decent gain on the scramble of 6, but now it's 4th. So on 4th down, here's the Ravens Pro Bowl kicker Justin Tucker out onto the field. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And the Ravens strike first at 3-zip. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do? You got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end. Take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. And an alley to run. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A big play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles have taken the lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. It's been an awfully slow start for them. This is their 3rd possession. They don't have a first down yet.
So that means they have to change up what they're doing, and for some teams, it's a change in tempo, usually moving it to more up-tempo type of an offense just to try and change their fortunes right now. What they've been doing so far isn't working. Maybe they'll do that.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over.
Now Jackson to throw again. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
There are a good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Jackson. And that will be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9 at the 15-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Wentz going to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle 1st down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3.
Here we go.
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. Leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instinct. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play.
Check, 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 check.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now they'll throw it. Wentz. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 43.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Now a throw left sideline here is complete. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. And he'll give it here to his running back.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Wentz can pull it down when he needs to, and the 6'5" quarterback picks up the first down.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
Flush to his right, and he's got the hook up to Moore.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Now they try the right side here. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Right here. Watch that in.
Wentz to throw on 3rd and 1. And that's caught by Smith. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again. Wentz going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. Being chased out left. He's going to take off with it. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Bullock's kick is good. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
He's coming. Double up. He's got to go.
They'll keep it on the ground. Dickerson, and some room to work. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 25 yards to pick up there, and also a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
They're going to be stopped up on this first down run. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Now a give, right side. Dickerson. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up, because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
Mike 51. Hey, let's get that ball.
On third down, Jackson. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Going to give this time to the tailback. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that'll lead here to a third down. Now Wentz. And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. And Bullock will put this one through. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
You can't block me.
They go play action now. Jackson trying to lay one up deep. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, puts a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball, and that was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown. And now nothing but green ahead of him. He's at the 40, 20. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great play there. 79 yards. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. He's been having a great game, and that one right there, his best run so far, and it ends with 6 points.
And not only that, in his mind, what is he thinking? Can I get to 200 yards as well? Because he knows he's closing in on it. He may not know the exact number, but the best runners have a feel of what the yardage is that they're compiling, and he knows that he's getting close to that 200-yard mark now.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
Rush in, rush in, rush in.
They'll keep it on the ground. Dickerson. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson. His throw incomplete. He has still not connected on a single pass in this second half.
And right now they're going through all the different reasons, the whys, the wherefores. Bottom line, got to find some completions in there and get their offense moving.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner, and I don't think with 3 scores down in the 3rd quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. 49-yard punt, 5 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge. Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep following up front in order to bring this one home.
On 2nd and 9, Wentz. It's caught. Smith. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. Caught by the tight end, Ertz. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. Here's Michael Pilardi now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. Almost outkicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Jackson now. 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Jackson. Got his man there. It's Wallace complete. The 20. 10. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens cut into that lead.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field. And that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control. And how about the end result? A touchdown.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll swing this complete out to Hill. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Waiting.
50 seconds, come on. I don't think you got it, son. Check 24, check 24.
And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay. So that'll back them up 5. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long.
You better be afraid of me.
Working from the gun, Wentz. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them, because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
He got 29 yards that time. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Miles Boykin, his second touchdown on the season, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. To throw is Wentz. This short throw caught by Goddard. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Then he'll give it here to his running back. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
Get that ball. Get that ball.
Now they'll run it on the toss. They find some open field here. 17 yards and a first down for Philly.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Loss of 2 brings up 2nd and 12 at the 13-yard line.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12.
Switch.
Now a handoff looking right. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
Go. 180.
59. All day, dog.
What's your son?
Now they'll run on the draw. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And whistles, and they take their final timeout with 7 seconds left. So now Randy Bullock with an important field goal try here. And his kick is good. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play.